Well, the Cougs were stunned this afternoon with a third straight loss. These three losses were easy wins for the team that beat Texas Tech at home, UW in the Apple Cup, and San Jose State in a double overtime. But the Washington State team that showed up the last 3 weeks doesn't feel like the same one we saw in those first 3 weeks of the season. And if it wasn't enough, Washington State just lost to a team with only 2 wins before today. We're here in the first quarter. It's John Mateer out to Kyle Williams with the quick catch and run all the way home for the first touchdown of the game. The senior gets to celebrate one more time in the end zone, and he'll probably leave this team being the best answer title. Then Wyoming takes the snap, a sack by the Cougar defense. It's Mateer up again, what he does best, using his legs, takes it in for himself for a rushing touchdown. That takes the Cougs to 14, and it's also the last time you'll see a crimson jersey in the end zone. A deep ball here from Evan Svoboda. It's perfectly placed for the Cougs' Jamori Colson to come down with it. So the first half, it doesn't look too bad, but the Cougs managed to not score a single point against the Cowboys for the entirety of the second half. The Cowboys looking to the end zone to take the lead. Svoboda to John Michael Gillenborg for the 6 points to give them a 1-point edge on Washington State and take the W. That was a 15-14 loss for the Cougars on senior night, and that's tough enough. But when you look at the big picture of the possibilities of this 8-1 team just 3 weeks ago, with talks of a playoff opportunity, to now sitting back and asking what went so tragically wrong. Jack Wallace is live in Pullman for us for how Jake Dickert and the players try to explain this loss. Jack?
Well, Sydney, I can't sugarcoat it. This was a pure disappointment from all sides of the ball, ironically, except for the defense, who ended up playing pretty well, holding Wyoming to just 15 points, a very stark difference from how WSU played against them a little while back. But looking ahead at what Washington State was able to do on offense tonight, I know you mentioned they had 0 points in the second half. They only had 41 total yards in the second half. Multiple drives with negative yards. Just nothing going for John Mateer in this offense that's been so effective over the last few months, especially when you go back to September with that Apple Cup win, the dominance over Texas Tech. We're just seeing a whole different team here down the stretch. And we also spoke with head coach Jake Dickert post-game on the sour taste that this left and what else they can really do learning from this game and moving forward.
Found ways to lose a game, not ways to win a game. You know, and whether that's penalties, whether it's not converting on sudden changes, whether it's, holdings on special teams, and obviously playing really well defensively and probably until the last play.
I should have done a better job in different situations and getting us in first downs and positive yards, and I didn't do that.
So I know preseason a lot of Coug fans would say, well, 8-4, that's not too bad, but you got to look at how these games ended down the stretch, and now they got to look forward of what's going to come next. What's going to happen with that bowl game? Well, there are 4 real choices that the Cougs could have. It's the Alamo, Holiday, Las Vegas, and LA Bowl. But with this loss today, well, it's looking more and more likely that Alamo's off the table. Perhaps Holiday is off. We're not sure yet. I guess it's all up to the bid deciders in those bowl games to see where the Cougs are going to go next, and hopefully, at least for them, get that 9th win, which they spoke to us more about, just what that would mean to get that 9th win and put it out for these seniors. In Pullman, Jack Wallace, 4 News Now Sports.